everyone, Blue here. I hope you're enjoying Camp Here and There's new season so far. I'm really enjoying producing it. Now, due to indie budget restraints, I cut out a lot of filler content from the main story. But I understand that everyone would love to see more of these beloved characters, and I certainly would love to produce more. So I am crowdfunding the opportunity. I am pitching 8 filler mini-episodes which delve into the lives, psyches, and extra stories of the main cast which do not have a place in the main story. These include premises such as a segment of Yvonne's gaming channel, a cooking show with Matthew and Adam, or a glimpse at Elijah's life as a nurse pre-canon. The campaign runs until July 20th, 2025, and anything we make past it will go straight back into Camp Here and There in the form of more music, content, new visual art, or to help the next season. I am offering limited merch and voiceover commissions from the cast as perks. Check it out in the link of this episode. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy today's episode.
And how memories can flicker on a screen with such aching tenderness. And that aching tenderness is what I can resonate with.
Blue Wolf and Friends presents Camp Here and There. Episode 37. My Familiar the Demon.
Good morning, campers! The time is 8:68 a.m. and the sky is a bloody red. A deep, rich, faintly purpling crimson. You know what they say, red sky at morning, the fungus is forming. It reminds me of the flowering bruises on my knees I'd grow when scaling trees as a child during the Ohio summers. Couldn't have been older than 12. Jediah, aspiring doctor he was, always bandaged them up for me, mumbling something about using up all the first aid supplies in the house. I mean, it's not like we had any where I lived. I guess he didn't like running out. Or Lucille would get irritated. Or he didn't like me scaling trees. But I was playing fox, and it's not like foxes live on the ground. Everyone knows you can't fit their wings into any burrows. One time, I got Jediah to climb with me after a lot of convincing, and Lucille was really mad at me. I'd never seen an arm bend like that before. That's okay, though. I don't play fox anymore. I mean, fox bodies are full of naturally occurring, not synthetic, working organs and pumping blood and a beating heart. I can't remember the last time I felt my heart beat naturally. Any fox not wrapped up in a curse owned by men would surely just laugh at me. Anyways, enough of my foxy ramblings. We have something very serious to discuss here today. My meeting. It is finally happening. I've decided to go through with making first contact with our letter-writing overwear director. Curiosity is a hungry little creature, and mine's been starving for far too long. At this point, I'm a bit shaken by the mystery, but I'm also excited. It's like that feeling when you're about to eat a questionable mushroom you found in the woods.
Only you do that.
I'm most excited to put an end to our feud. I'd really like some peace on our campgrounds, perhaps a unity of heres and wheres. And from where I'm standing, this opportunity presents a perfect avenue for, as I've previously expressed, mending fallen bridges over in there. My lovely assistant here, Charmer isn't he, will be doing your announcements in my wake. Would you like to begin in taking up the goat, Jediah?
Right. Wait, the goat?
You get it.
Good morning, campers. As Sydney mentioned, I'll be handling the announcements today while he's off on his ill-advised adventure.
Be positive.
First order of business, due to an unfortunate incident involving a misplaced sculpting knife and a very irritated raccoon, the arts and crafts cabin is temporarily off limits. We're working on removing the pottery, but until then, please redirect all creative urges to... Christ, I don't know. Screaming? Right. Oh, Christ, I hate this.
Jediah.
Remember to always keep up a veneer of cheer, no matter how much you may wish to positively tear yourself apart limb from limb.
That's the spirit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a rendezvous with destiny, or at least with a potentially hostile camp director. Same difference, really. All right.
Sydney, wait. Damn it. Fantastic. Okay, today's lunch will be mystery meat surprise. The mystery is that it's actually yippee and all that. From my understanding, we're going to try capture the flag again. Oh, Posy Panic. You're still going to be trapped in a cocoon. I hope that doesn't, bother you or anything.
Ghost Recorder. I know we've already had a few exchanges this week when I got frustrated, but I did want to apologize for not talking to you over the year. I imagine it must have been pretty lonely, right? I guess I just didn't feel like it was necessary. Jediah was around and didn't up and leave this time once autumn set in. It's been amazing, actually. I don't think I've ever been touched this much. Not since we were kids. Well, I guess especially not since he was so cagey back then, but there was that one year, you know? Valentine's Day in 2014. Anyways, I can't complain, so I haven't been talking to you, but I am sorry that I only talk to you when I want to complain. That must suck as a ghost. You can't even tell me to stop. I hope you don't mind. Oof, walking this far aches a bit. I do like that Jediah and I are sleeping together again. I can say that, and it still gives me a thrill. The novelty hasn't worn off yet, I guess. It's everything I ever wanted. I'm authentically his, and he's chosen me. Sometimes it doesn't feel real. But after just shy of a year, I'm barely starting to get used to it. I hope that's not a bad sign. Anyways, I brought you along because I want to keep track of what this stranger says. If I learned anything from last year, it helps to have a record. If something goes wrong, this time I can show Jediah right away. And he'll take me seriously now. That's nice, right? It's certainly new. No more empty promises, I think. He's still working on that project of his, but I've learned to be less annoyed by it these days. But, I'm grateful. I'm grateful he's so attentive to me. But I can't help this sick feeling. My body is dead. It's disgusting. I want to rip out my heart, but I don't know if that'd kill me somehow. Again, ow! Okay, I get it. I refrain from thinking about it. I'm really happy he's here. I'm so happy. But I do not rot. I'm trying to get to the northern lakeside shore. It's far off from camp activity, at the edge of our premises. An irritatingly long trot, I'll say that. The lake is sparkling in the mid-morning light. Based on the harsh sun, I'd say it's nearly 11 a.m. Nature really is ravenous this time of year, but the plants don't dare crawl to the shoreside. The air feels different, charged with an electric tension that makes my skin prickle. Or maybe that's just my nerves. I can see why I'm meant to walk here. It's secluded, yet open enough to prevent any funny business. Not that I'm expecting any.
Hello, dearest.
Oh my! You?
Me.
You're,
The man of your dreams?
sort of. You are very tall. You were the one with the apple.
Excellent memory. It is wonderful to behold our reunion. I've missed you.
So, you're the director of Camp Overwear?
If you choose to describe this way, though director is a strong term when you get down to it, I have your verbose job.
Camp announcements?
Indeed. You see, I am a demon.
In that moment, the terrible creature bowed to Sydney, making a mockery of man. And yet, as it leaned down before him, its eyes held a glimmer of reverence and fear.
A demon?
The demon. Your college familiar, do you not remember? Occult musings and magics of all the sort.
Oh, I think I do. Up and Adam.
Just Adam, beloved. Yes, we had so much fun together, you and me. What with your Ouija boards and your red candles. I was your guide, your sentinel through the hermetic, and in times of turmoil, your dearest confidant. Oh, I've simply missed you.
What are you doing here?
Well, I've always envied your humanity, you know. All those feelings and emotions. So, I took it upon myself to become human. And I've taken your job to see what all the living fuss is about. Quite spectacular, is it not?
Congratulations on the blood.
Oh, but it doesn't sound like you're truly living now, does it?
It's certainly painful.
How so?
This is not what I'm here to talk about.
Oh, please, I know. The children, my delightful charges. I will have a word. Fussy little things they are, so full of blood. You have my promise that they will not terrorize your camp any longer. Well, you have my word that I will do my best to stop them. But I'm sure you know the middle schooler is a far more capable animal than your average wayward demon. We should frankly be grateful that their intentions are little more than ill-executed mischief.
You should be able to control them, if you're in charge.
In charge is a rather strong term.
Please tell me you have a medically capable staff member, a nurse, even just someone who can wrap a bandage.
Oh, yes. I believe her name is Jane, though you may know her as the deer with no face, yes?
She's a registered nurse?
Indeed! Miss Doe finished a degree just last winter.
Wow. Good for her.
Good for her, undeniably. Now, did you bring what I asked of you?
Oh, yeah, a sharp knife and, preserves?
Oh, splendid, splendid!
Why the knife?
I'm not going to eat with my fingers like some uncivilized sludge ferret. Unless, of course, there's trail mix involved, then all bets are off. Now, please, lean on a familiar shoulder, pun intended. What ails you, my dearest?
I'm interested in why you're reaching out to me now.
Sydney. You're focusing on all the wrong things. Tell me, how does it feel to be a walking corpse? To have your lover playing puppeteer with your lifeless body?
You got a little,
You're avoiding the question, beautiful.
It doesn't feel great.
No, I imagine not.
But he won't hear it. I've had to do a lot of apologizing lately.
Well, why not kill yourself?
I beg your pardon?
I am serious. You're living no life, nor are you meant to. This is not a suggestion of mere suicide, but a completion of what is meant to be. You've died already, no? Is this misery not an expression of necromantic dysphoria?
I can't just... I mean, Jediah would be devastated.
Perhaps.
And I'd miss him.
But you admit that the release sounds pleasant.
I don't know.
I suggest you consider the option. As your familiar, I know you well and intimately, my dear.
Is it wise to take advice from a demon?
The question certainly hasn't stopped you before. What do you want, Sydney?
I want Jediah. I want him to be happy.
Ah, the turmoils of love. What a cockeyed obsession to deny your very nature in pursuit.
Are you still my familiar then? Can I trust you to protect me?
I am but a humble human demon. No longer do I possess any chthonic abilities, but I can play a wonderful jig. Come, make merry!
Hi. It's time for everyone's least favorite part of the day. Lunch announcements. No, the kitchen staff did not find the source of the mysterious crunch in your surprise mystery meat. They're calling it textural enrichment. I'm calling it grounds for a health inspection. Today's menu is... let me check. Oh, excellent. It's Tuesday Taco Tower Day. Except it's Sunday. For those of you unfamiliar with the horror, it involves a structurally questionable stack of tortillas, canned beans, and shredded cheese. Plus, the addition of the tower energy. A reminder that I am meant to give you: if your tower collapses and takes someone else out, that is a you issue, even though we should really help you out. I am, against my will, required to tell you on behalf of Tower Energy. For dessert, we'll be having powdered gelatin. Again, because we're not allowed to have anything nice. In other news, Camp Here and There has won the game of Capture the Flag. Whoopee. Posy Panic has not emerged from the cocoon, however. I am told this is a cause for concern, so be concerned. Activities include... extreme friendship bracelet making, where campers will attempt to weave bracelets while suspended upside down from trees. Nothing says true friendship like a concussion. Next, we have interpretive squirrel dancing. It involves imitating the erratic movements of our local rodent population while wearing acorn hats. How delightful. Oh, and here's a crowd favorite: competitive cloud watching. Points are awarded for the most creative hallucinations. Interpretations. Winner gets to name the next mysterious fungus that inevitably sprouts in the showers. For our aquatic enthusiasts, we're offering synchronized drowning. That's it. Enjoy your meal, or don't. And remember, if your lifelong partner of 17 years is currently testing your patience by gallivanting off to meet a potentially dangerous, clearly nefarious entity against all sound advice and common sense again, I suppose that's just par for the course around here. No, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that my impulsive, overly trusting boyfriend is gone right now. I'm not at all concerned for what his destructive curiosity and misplaced optimism might lead him into. Thanks. Goodbye.
Do you remember the night we first met, my dear? It was a crisp autumn evening in your dormitory, a vessel of knowledge and youthful promise in Erie, Pennsylvania. The air was thick with the scent of cheap incense and the nervous perspiration of a fledgling occultist-to-be. You had arranged your room in a perfect compass of salt, candles flickering at each cardinal point. A kaleidoscope of soft phantasms danced on the wall. Your roommate was out for the night, probably at some mundane human gathering, leaving you free to dabble in the pleasantries of the dark arts without interruption. I can still see you, knelt on the floor, your tangled hair tied back with a worn rubber band, wearing that preposterous necromancer's do-it-with-dead-people t-shirt you found so clever. Darling, the joke does not land. But guidance was what you wanted. Respite, sanctuary, a bubble of providence to aid in your magical pursuit of your deepest covet. Health. Your hands were shaking as you read from that tattered grimoire that you'd found in the back of a second-hand bookshop. 80 cents. The steal of a century. The words tumbled from your lips, ancient syllables you barely understood. But oh, your conviction. I could taste your desperation, your hunger for solace. A siren song I couldn't resist. And then, with a final, guttural utterance, I was there. Not physically, mind you, no. My presence was far more subtle. It started as a whisper in the back of your mind, a gentle caress of cold fingers along your spine. You sat remarkably still, unsure of your senses. Had it worked? It worked perfectly, I said. Though you did not hear, you knew. Tendrils of my essence seeped through, invisible and intangible, to brush against your spirit. Your grimoire fell from your nerveless fingers as you sat back, breathing a giddy laugh from your chest. I had required a name, as is customary for establishing a familiar's contract. And what is it that you decided then?
Up and Adam.
A ridiculous moniker. You thought yourself quite the wit, didn't you? However, after giving your chosen name some thought, I started to find a certain charm to it. Your badinage was an indication of your jocularity in the face of a higher power, a refusal to be intimidated by the forces that be. It was almost endearing, in a way. And so I embraced it. Up and Adam I was. I would be your faithful familiar, your sentry, your friend. I made sure you knew that I was not to be played ducks and drakes with. I may have accepted your little witticism, but I was still a demon. Eventually, we developed a certain rapport, you and I. Many nights spent exploring the finer mysticism, indulging your woes, sharing stories of our respective worlds, yours of flesh and blood, mine of the chthonic and metaphysical. You came to trust my counsel, and you weren't the worst charge. There was a spark in you that I had felt a certain, je ne sais quoi. But all that is good must end, mustn't it? The world has a way of intruding on even the most cloistered of existences after all. But... Ow! Oh, my apologies.
The terrible creature, despite a clear path to fulfillment, was inhibited by its nature. Its hunger for the release of the boy's mortal coil was no doubt an all-consuming ache.
Are you quite all right, my dearest?
But a demon cannot snuff out the life it has been bound to.
Yeah, I'm fine.
No matter how fervently it may wish to do so.
It's just a headache. It happens sometimes since,
No matter how broken our laws may be.
Ah, yes. The pesky side effects of being denied the sweet embrace of slumber. You have my most heartfelt condolences, my dear.
Thanks. I think.
Now, where were we? Ah, yes! The golden days of our youth.
I'm not sure I'd call my college years golden. I don't like thinking about it.
But that's what made it so delightful. Watching you navigate the treacherous waters of higher education, all while trying to maintain your hopeless GPA. What an uproar!
Glad I could provide. I best be getting back. Jediah will be upset if I linger too long. Will I see you again?
Sweetness, I would be offended if you didn't.
And please keep those kids in line.
What did I say, gorgeous? I will talk to them.
All right. Good evening, my ravenous rascals. It's 19:05 p.m. and I am reporting for duty. The sky has settled into a delightful shade of periwinkle, like the fur of a friendly beast. You know what they say, periwinkle at night, werewolf's delight. I'm pleased to report that my meeting with the mysterious overwear director was a smashing success. Well, maybe not smashing, no property damage or illicit dealings involved, thankfully, but it was certainly illuminating. The director is actually an old friend of mine. We had a lovely chat over jam, and I'm confident that our little feud will soon be a thing of the past. Turns out, he's quite the charmer. A real demon in the sack, if you know what I mean.
Sydney!
Kidding. In other news, the Arts and Crafts cabin has been successfully de-raccooned, so feel free to unleash your creativity bugs once more. And if you're going to make a life-size sculpture of your favorite camp counselor, make sure it's anatomically correct. We have standards to uphold here after all. Not sculpting the proper intramusculature of the noble human heart would certainly be a disgrace to those who bear it. And it appears Posey has finally emerged from her cocoon like a fresh babe. She now sports a stunning set of wings, resplendent in mingling hues of chartreuse and magenta. The intricate patterns swirling across her delicate membranes shimmer and spiral with each flutter. Indeed, Posey's metamorphosis has imbued within her the divine fractal. Congratulations on higher ascension, Posey. I do hope this helps your panic. According to reports from Rowan and Juniper, Cabin Magpie Moth is currently a bit crowded and overrun, so we'll be having a few counselors renovate the former Cabin Dung Beetle, which is currently a pile of rubble. Build upwards! What could go wrong? Alright, kids, tonight's dinner is sure to knock your socks off, and hopefully not any other articles of clothing. Matthew has lovingly cooked up the lasagna of questionable depth. He claims it's a bottomless lasagna, but no one knows what happens if you reach the bottom. One camper swears they found a pair of boots and a coin from 1785 buried halfway down. After dinner, we've got a real special activity planned. Simon Says! Oh, Simon, our big buddy Simon. We all know him. Simon. Do as he says. And we've got a rousing game of pin the tail on the counselor going. Jediah has graciously volunteered to be our donkey for the evening. Let's see how many more unicorn tails we can stick on him before he loses his patience and... he has politely asked us to, quote, stop. Here's a fun note. Tomorrow morning, ecology expert Counselor Gracie is taking a few interested campers on a nature hike. We'll learn about the birds, the bees, and the chicanery of the noble mushroom. And finally, a quick memo. If you spot any strange, shadowy figures lurking around the edges of camp, don't be alarmed. It's probably just my newfound pal, Adam. Okay, sleep tight, little sardines. Life is short, laughter is the best medicine, and if a demon offers you a jam session, take it. On the morrow.
A demon?
It's really fine.
You know how I feel about that.
Come on, when's the last time you've been to service? And Lucille's even more godless than you these days.
This is mean of you. You're being mean right now.
Okay, sorry.
It's alright. Just promise me you won't let him get too close. I don't get a good feeling. I really can't. I don't think I could handle... I need you to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Promise?
I promise, Jedi.
Okay. Also, that joke was not funny.
Are you actually worried?
No, of course not, but it's not respectful.
Yes, sir.
Right. Alright, let's get to bed.
Ghost recorder. Jediah is asleep, so I've taken some time to myself. A bit of fresh air and contemplation should do me good. The grounds are still at this hour. The moon hangs low tonight, as ethereal as ever. My dear friend. I've always loved this sight.
The leaves crunch underneath his feet, their brittle remnants mingling with the damp grass as he walks without shoes, craving sensation. He feels the absence of his own weight, and he contemplates his lot. A pale imitation of lifeblood, whatever it is that he was now. This beautiful place, which once brought him solace, now felt like a handsome cage. He continues his stroll towards the lake's edge. The water ripples gently against the rocky shore. He sits, staring at the stars reflecting in the still surface. His reflection is crystalline, which he observes for some time. He chooses to wash himself. He begins to dip his foot into the frigid lake and braces for the bite of cold. He expects the familiar jolt of ice to gnash up his spine. He tenses his muscles in a pleasant anticipation. But there is no bite, only a dull discomfort, like the pain of a dream. The remembrance of feeling, but no color. The boy had understood this reality for some time, but only now had he known. Only now does he realize that he remembers a before. He runs his hands over his legs as he submerges them, applying pressure, pinching the skin, and he can feel the rising goosebumps under his fingers. He understands what he is touching, yet his externals are numb to all but the most extreme stimuli. His body would feel as if it were cased in cotton. It isn't until he notices the clouding water that he realizes he is scratched through the skin of his legs.
Maybe Adam was right. But I think of Jediah, of the way his voice trembles when he speaks to me.
He moves his hands beneath the surface.
I move my hands beneath the surface.
Concentric circles ripple out from his arms. A fish slips past his fingers.
I envy its ability to glide through the depths. What I wouldn't give to sink beneath the current, to let the water fill my lungs and cleanse me inside. But I can't. I made a promise to him.
He ignores the centipede in his reflection.
Today's episode of Camp Here and There was written and directed by Blue Wolf. The role of Sidney Sargent was performed by Blue Wolf. The role of Jediah Martin was performed by VoiceBox Vance. The role of Up and Adam was performed by Dio Gardner. The role of Mystery Man was performed by Jalen Askins. With original music composed by Will Wood and produced by Jonathan Maisto. Additional music composed by Kyle Gabler and Another You. Dialogue editing by Emily Safko. Sound design by Blue Wolf and Another You. And a special thanks to patrons for making this possible. Special thanks to Eleanor, Juno, Bloodbath, Coolest Lithuanian Kolya, Davies, Holly Hexmore, VB, and Lauren Tranica. To join them and to get behind-the-scenes content like bloopers, development notes, early access to episodes, interactive events, and more, visit the Patreon at patreon.com/bluewolf. You can also join the official Discord server to connect with fellow listeners and discuss the latest episode. Find the link in the description of today's episode. And finally, if you'd like to support the show and ensure we can keep going, the most meaningful thing you can do is to help spread the word. Thank you for listening to Camp Here and There. And remember, failing palindromic, prime time's at 8.